Hi kids, welcome to another MGears enrichment activity. Okay, in this activity we are going to build a specifically designed MGears car. And this MGears car is going to be designed very specifically. As we go through this video, listen to the vocabulary that I use in terms of mathematics and engineering design process. Okay, because afterwards you're going to be asked to take a quiz and on what you've learned. Now I'm using the vocabulary in the process of setting up the car and building it so that it has meaning to you. Okay, so anyways, this is the vehicle that we are going to build. Notice that it has one line of symmetry right down the center. That means that what is on this side is exactly like that side. So that line of symmetry in the design is going to give it some balance, okay? It's not symmetrical from the back to the front. The red is the front. It's not symmetrical that way simply because it has yellow pegs on this side and there's no yellow pegs down there. Okay, a little bit about the ratio of parts. A ratio is a comparison of two numbers. A 1-to-1 ratio would be a comparison of the yellow gears to the red gears. There are 2 red gears for every 2 yellow gears. And if you look at this, you could then say, well, what is the wheel to gear ratio? That would be a 1-to-1 ratio also, because for every 1 wheel, there is 1 gear. Okay, and you could say it's 4-to-4, but you could simplify it by saying 1-to-1. Another example of a ratio would be as if you compared the wheels to the red gears. Well, notice how I said wheels first and red gears second. So you'd want to take the count of wheels first, 1, 2, 3, 4, and compare it to the count of gears, 1, 2. So it would be a 4-to-2 ratio if you compared wheels to red gears. And because it's 4-to-2, you can simplify it and say that it is actually a 2-to-1. So for 2 wheels, there's 1 red gear. 2 wheels, there's 1 red gear. Okay, that's what you'd need if you were building this. Okay, now let's build it. You should probably pause the video and write down how many parts you're going to need out of your bag, and then get those parts out and then begin building. Okay, so what you're going to need are, you're going to need 11 blue pillars. You're going to need 10 6-way axles. You're going to need 4 yellow pegs. You're going to need 2 yellow gears. You're going to need 2 red gears. You're going to need 4 wheels, and they are wheels because they include the hub and the tire. Okay, so you're going to need 4 wheels. Again, that's 11 blue pillars, 10 6-way axles, 4 yellow pegs, 2 yellow gears, 2 red gears, and 4 wheels. So why don't you pause the video right now until you can get your parts out. All right, it looks like you're ready to go. Let's start by working from the front of the vehicle to the back, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1 pillar and 2 of these axles. The black axle has a split top or a split cylinder, and it's on opposite sides. And if you notice that these are set up, when you look at these, they are set up so that the pegs that go into the pillars and hold on are actually octagons, okay? And the reason they hold in there is because an octagon, if you cut the corners of a square, if you cut all 4 corners, you're adding a line segment to each corner, and therefore you create an octagon, and that's why they fit in. So anyways, when you put this on, you're going to put it on so that the split is going to face up. Put another one on the opposite side, and the split faces up. Okay? So now we're going to imagine that we're going to put 2 pillars coming off the front. 1, 2. Okay? So now we have this setup right here. Okay, now our red gears want to go right here, so we're going to take another black axle, but this time we're going to put it so that the split peg is facing out. Okay, that way you can snap this red gear on there like that. Now when you go to the other side, you're going to do the same thing, and you're going to put an axle on there, and you want it to go to the outside also, the split peg onto the outside, and then snap your other red gear on there. Okay, so when you look at this, you've got another line of symmetry down the center here. Okay, that line of symmetry, and you can see that you have a ratio of 1, 2, 3, 4 black axles or 6-way axles to 3 blue pillars. Or you could compare the axles to gears, and in this case it would be a 2 to 4 because there's 2 red gears and there's 4 axles. Then you could simplify that down to a 1 to 2. Or you could compare axles to whatever you wanted. Alright, so anyways, now what we're going to do is we're going to build the frame further this way. So you're going to need 2 more pillars to put on there. Okay, 2 more pillars. Alright, now once those are on, you now have this H right here. And if you wanted to write a fraction describing how many parts you could have, you could say that you have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 parts so far. And out of that 11, 2 are the gears, so that would be 2/11 are gears, okay? 4/11 are 6-way axles. 5/11 are blue pillars. All right, so now this is what we have so far. Now, what gets tricky is we have this pillar right here, this section right here, going in right here. So in order to make that easier, we're going to take this blue pillar, and we want our split peg to go up on both sides. So when we do that, the split peg is facing up, and we put another one in there, facing up, okay? And to make it easy, now we're just going to snap this right on like that, okay? Right on like that. Good to go. Then we're going to take 2 more blue pillars and put them on the ends like that, okay? So now we have this line of symmetry going down the center, and we're going to put another set of axles and a cross piece through here. So you take another axle and a black pillar, and you want to orient it so the split is up. Another one, so the split is up. And that split is going to go right in here facing up. Okay? So you get it in there like so. All right? So now this is what we have. Okay? The split peg is up all the way. All right. Now we're getting close to finishing up. We're going to put 2 more pillars on there like this. Now, these pillars are going to be open. These pillars are going to have 2 6-way axles, and they're going to be open down at the bottom here, okay? Open down at the bottom. So we're going to take our pillars, and this way we want gears coming off of the side there, so we're going to make sure the split is pointing out, okay? The split in the cylinder is pointing out. And we're going to do that on both sides. Split facing out. Line of symmetry would go right down between these 2 pegs, okay? Then what we're going to do is we're going to put our yellow gears on here, okay? Yellow gears, okay? That's what it looks like now. This is the front, this is the back. And now we're going to take these pegs and we're going to put the pegs on the sides of the car, okay? Now that's what you're looking at. Then you have 2 more pegs you're going to slip on there. And like that. Okay? Well, the last thing we have to do is put the wheels on it. And remember, the wheels connect into the gears. Make sure they spin freely. Spin freely. Perfect. Okay. And then we put the red on there. And we put the red on there. There we go. And there we go. We have our vehicle. Okay. And it should be all done. Just tighten it up a little bit. Make sure it's secure. And you're good to go. Now, this vehicle is going to be used to teach us some math concepts. Okay. It's already taught us some math concepts like symmetry. And we talked about the blue pillars. The blue pillars are actually rectangular prisms. We have on the pegs here that go into the blue pillars, this part right here is an octagon. And then we have our pegs. We talked about ratios and how a ratio is a comparison of two amounts. When you say, like for example, if we were going to compare the number of yellow pegs to the number of wheels, we could say that it's 4 to 4 or 1 to 1. If we were going to compare the yellow pegs to yellow gears or yellow parts to yellow parts, we would say, you know, it's a 4 to 2 ratio. 4 pegs to 2 gears. Okay? So, if you look at it, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of the 6-way axles. And how many pillars did we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So the pillars to 6-way axles is a ratio of pillars to 6-way axles, 11 pillars to 10 axles. Okay? Kind of caught me off guard. Anyways, there you go. Now what I'd like you to do is try to answer some of the questions as a part of this enrichment. Nice job, kids. And look for the next video that tells you how we use this car. Have a good day.